Super Plus.
Greetings and welcome to the Hills of Steel 1 Tank Breakdown series. I'm your host Andrew, and today we're introducing a brand new tank to the lineup. Let's take a look at the all new Dune tank. This new tank will bring a lot of fun for players in Hills of Steel 1. With the introduction of this new tank, it of course comes with a handful of new skins. You can check out Red, Chariot, Beach, as well as Furious. All of them look fantastic. However, we're just going to stick with Red today as we're showing Dune as it is right out the gate. As with all tanks, it of course can be leveled up by collecting cards and coins. For this episode, however, we are going to keep it at level 1 to show everyone what it looks like. You can see on the statistics of the screen, eventually when you do max it out, Dune will get to decent armor, pretty decent damage as well, and be very, very fast. This makes for some really fun gameplay in a number of the game modes. As always, you can select a booster as well, depending on whatever type you like to play with. But for today, we're just going to leave it empty. So, let's not delay any further, and let's jump into the action and see Dune and what it's like in one of the game modes. As always, we'll kick things off with our personal favourite, Midsummer Siege. So, as we mentioned about Dune, this vehicle is actually quite sturdy. It is also very, very fast. This means though, that even though it is sturdy, because it goes so fast, you need to be a little careful going over the terrain. The weapons come in two kinds. The first is the cannon. If you tap on it, it will fire out one shot. However, if you hold on it, it will send out consecutive shots in a row, doing a respectable amount of damage. It has a very fast reload time, so usually you'll not get caught out without any shots to take. There is a little bit of an arc to it, so you'll need to take that into consideration as well. The second ability is the ram. With Dune, you can charge forward into enemy tanks, using the ram to push them back, flipping them over, as well as doing damage. It is also a great way that if you're firing shots and a tank gets too close to you, you can use it to push them back to get them into range of your initial shots. So, it's great for dealing with tanks at range, but also up close as well. As we noted, however, if you are using your ram or moving too fast across the terrain, you can wobble a little bit and leave yourself exposed, so be careful. The ram will also hit multiple enemies at once, but because we're only level 1, charging in with a ram only means that we do take damage in return because we haven't maxed out our armor. So it's best to be careful depending on the level that you have Dune at and what you're going up against. In most cases, the earlier levels will be better suited by using your cannon to fire and do damage. One thing to note about the cannon, as you can see on screen, is that they don't bounce. As soon as the trajectory is coming to an end, whether it hits the ground or if it hits a tank, it will detonate. So they won't bounce, so you need to ensure that the arc and the shot are at the right distance in order to do damage. You can use the hills to your advantage because of this arc though. You can sit behind the hills, just firing the grenades over the top, doing damage and keeping yourself safe. Much can be said for going up against the boss tanks as well. In the earlier stages, being a little weak, you might not want to be in range of whatever damage it is that they deal out. In this case, Armadillo has a slightly shorter range, so we can either move further back to use our damage, or we can get in close to use our ram. But with the style that Armadillo is, you'll notice that when we use the ram, it pushes us up and we can't really do a lot of damage. So in this case, staying at range is the best practice. As we move forward, a number of things that we always talk about and what is important to remember is how it deals with ground units, as well as how it deals with units that are in the air. For this particular one, let's jump over and take a look at what it looks like whenever we face some of the air units, as we jump over to some jungle. In jungle, Dune will act much the same as a lot of other tanks do, that although we have a little bit of an arc to our shots, it's not high enough to reach any of the air units. So this means that we will have to use the hills to our advantage so that we can get our shots up into the air to do damage. Of course, against ground units we should have no problem whatsoever. We just need to be careful going across hills that are a little bit steeper so that we don't accidentally leave ourselves vulnerable. Also, at the lower levels, the shots that we send out aren't going to be as powerful, so in most cases, trying to take down an air unit will take 2 shots. A number of tanks as well will usually take a couple of shots to take them down, but as we progress and level Dune up, we'll be able to do a lot more damage, and in most cases take down these tanks with a single shot. So, what have we learned overall about Dune? Dune is very fun. It is very fast. It also allows you to play a style of close and personal, or at range, or a combination of both. So, if you want to sit in the back, firing off your cannon and doing damage in safety, you can do that. But if you want to ram and slam, you can do that as well. Charging into the enemies, using your ram to do a lot of damage and making them unstable. But you do need to take into consideration that you are a little bit on the low side of armor, so you might want to level up your tank first. When it comes to air units, we have to use the hills because the arc of the shot isn't quite high enough, so always remember to watch out for when air units are coming and what terrain you're on so that you can use that to your advantage to take them down. When it comes to bosses, always make sure to be ready for whatever boss it is you're taking on. If they are a long range, try to get close and do damage. Or if they're a shorter range, sit back and do damage with your own cannon. This concludes our look at Dune, the brand new tank in Hills of Steel 1. If you have been playing Dune and you have any hints or tips or strategies that you have figured out, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to know what you think of the new tank. Don't forget as well to like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all our content as well as all the new updates that we're releasing. Check out our social medias as well as join our Discord, which is the best place to be if you're a Hills of Steel fan. There you can participate in giveaways, interact with other fans, share drawings and participate in giveaways. It's a great place to be. Until the next time, we hope you have fun with the brand new Dune tank. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and we will see you next time on the Hills.